Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Horse Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Alright, we're gonna go back to talking about your favorite topic, Ahsoka.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Andor.
I wish. We don't even have any news on what's coming next yet.
No, we still don't. We're just patiently waiting.
Patiently
for
waiting.
something. Any kind of crumb.
Yeah. But, talking more about some Ahsoka stuff, I wish some of these interviews could have come out during the show, but would they have ruined the show? It's up in the air.
Hey, you don't know. We kind of talked about that in the Discord the other day.
Mm-hmm.
How
During
was
voice
it
chat.
actually not a bad thing that maybe some of these things didn't come out with Ahsoka, the Ahsoka series, and how Sabine is anybody can use the Force and all these kind of things that people have been arguing about.
Well, this time the interview is from StarWars.com, and they talked with the actress who played Morgan Elsbeth, Deanna Lee Inosanto, as well as, of course, Iman Esfandi, who played Ezra Bridger. Starting with Inosanto, she almost gave up on acting before she was called to do Mandalorian. She said, "I've always loved acting, but I could never find my break in my voice as an artist. I was honestly thinking, I guess I'll go back to college, I'll continue teaching martial arts, and here I am. And it's just been magical for me to be able to have this newfound career and to be able to be an actress in something I love so much. I've loved Star Wars since I was a child, and it's just a real miracle for me."
Wish they would have done more with her character.
Right?
They really did.
I think they could have developed her more.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done a little more or delved a little more into the Night Sister stuff. I mean, she gets the cool sword at the end and
Yeah.
the towels and stuff, and you're like, what does any of this mean? And
Well, and then you
why
kind of
couldn't we
figure
get-
at the end that her allegiance wasn't exactly to Thrawn, it was to Dathomir.
yeah.
And that made me a little sad because I would have liked to see more of her character, heard more of her story, because she
feel like she
became
was-
really interesting.
Well, yeah. I feel like she could have been really interesting. She
Mm-hmm.
was kind of just misused. Maybe not misused, but underused for sure.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't know she was even going to be coming back out of Mandalorian going to Ahsoka. She didn't even know that her character had a name. She says, "Until the night the Jedi episode appeared on Mandalorian Season 2, I was just stunned. Like, I got a name? I just knew I was the magistrate. I know everybody's like, oh, Grogu, but I had no idea it had been Morgan until Rosario said the character's name. So that gives you an idea of the kind of secrecy they keep, you know? So, yeah, I wasn't privy to it. And then when I found out that I was going to be possibly considered for Ahsoka, ironically, I was at Disneyland with my family when I got a call from my manager. And I just literally screamed and cried in the middle of Disneyland." Well, there's a lot of screaming and crying in Disneyland, I think.
For different reasons sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah. But she should know everybody in Star Wars has a name. Everybody. Even
Broom Boy?
Yeah, he does actually have a name.
I know, I don't
remember
like
what
to
it
call
is.
him anything other than Broom Boy.
I mean, every single Cantina alien, for example, or every denizen of Jabba's palace, they're all named and have backstories.
Even if it's a bad name and a bad backstory, it's there.
It's there. They're all there. Everybody got and more than just Walrus Man and Hammerhead and Snaggletooth, like back in the old school days when they just like, what do you
great
look
names.
like? Yeah, you look like a Hammerhead. Oh,
That's your name. Apparently, she's had a deep connection with Star Wars through her father when they saw it together in the theaters in 1977. But she also has some other connections to Star Wars. She says, "My eldest son has autism, and for whatever reason, he really gravitated towards the whole Star Wars universe. I loved sitting down and watching the Clone Wars and later on Rebels. They're almost like modern-day Aesop's fables. There's always some cool life lesson. And I think it's even more amazing that down the road, then I would be asked to audition for Mandalorian. In the beginning, it was my son that I would read lines with to prepare."
Very cool.
I like that she's got generational stories of enjoying Star Wars.
And that's what Star Wars is or should be, right? Kind of
Brings
a
people
generational.
together, yeah.
It's what it's supposed to do. Maybe once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. In her own right, Inosanto is a prolific martial artist.
Yeah, that's what I remember. We talked about that before.
Yes. I mean, she even got to put that on display in the finale when she finally got to fight Rosario with the blade of Talzin. Her stunt coordinator and her had input on the scene, which is pretty cool. And it was actually Inosanto who asked for her weapon to kill her character. She literally requested Elsbeth die by her own weapon.
Interesting. I don't think I want to be killed by my own weapon, but
Fall
that's
on
me.
your own blade.
Well, yeah, it's a shame thing, isn't it? Or a dishonorable thing, right? When you dishonor your family or yourself or something. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I know I'm sounding terrible right now, but
Dishonor on you.
I know you fall on your own sword. I know that kind of deal.
Your
Sorry.
redemption.
Sorry, everybody.
And then when she was kind of asked more about like the significance of her character, she said, Ahsoka, one way or another, was able to find her way through the darkness and into the light, so to speak. Morgan, to me, is a different example of what happens when people have been traumatized. They're willing to take risks in a way that can be harmful or hurtful. It's true, I mean, she did go through trauma. I really wish they would have delved more deeply into some of these characters. They don't really go into the fact of how hurt and possibly, messed up she is from the fall of Dathomir.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's one of the last remaining Night Sisters, as far as we know. We know Marin is out there as well. I don't know if Marin is alive at this time anymore, but one would assume perhaps she is.
And that she was almost fueled by the desperation to save her people, or to have their people be reborn, in a way, brought back to the galaxy. That was her goal.
Even though they're probably dead and being brought back to the galaxy
we have
to be reanimated.
No idea what's going on
or
with that.
They're in some kind of animated...
Stasis,
yeah.
Yeah. But everything she did to bring back the family she lost. And they could have leaned into that a bit more.
There's a lot of things that show could have leaned into a bit more. Or a lot more.
Like having a story. Oh, burn.
Yeah, like, I don't know, Sabine and Ezra having a talk about
what she did.
Yeah,
maybe.
Little things like
maybe
that.
Ezra talking about his time alone.
Yeah, his 10 years alone with Nadi.
Yeah.
What he did in that time.
Yeah.
How he avoided Thrawn for all those years. I don't know. Things.
Speaking of Ezra, they talked with Iman also at StarWars.com to talk about how close he felt to the character. He said, I literally feel like Ezra spoke to me in my living room, which was strange, but it's what happened. I felt like anytime I was on set and wasn't sure what to do, I would in my head be like, all right, Ezra, you can take care of this. You got this, right? It just felt like he was there.
That sounds like something Ezra would say to himself, too.
Right. Like, does he not realize that Ezra is him? And it's just, he's always been Ezra.
Yes. That's kind of creepy. I'm like, that sounds like Ezra.
That sounds like Ezra.
He is Ezra.
What's cool is he also kind of describes what his preparation was like when he was learning to be Ezra, when he's preparing to play Ezra on the show.
You mean his life before this prepared him for being Ezra?
He says, I did not watch Rebels ad nauseum because I didn't want to get too much of the younger version of the character locked into my body. But I watched key episodes that Dave recommended so I could understand the relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine and the rest of his crew. And I also researched Ezra like a public figure. I read all these articles, and then I watched a ton of videos on YouTube about the Force, and interviews with George Lucas, and interviews with Dave. I inundated myself with all things Star Wars to understand the tone and idea of the show. Well, he did his job right.
He did. I hope you watched some of my Ezra videos from back in the day.
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be weird.
That'd be really weird.
Would be. I don't know why that's so weird to think that Ezra watched my Ezra videos, but yeah.
He could have.
They're out there, right?
What if he watches this video about him being Ezra?
Huh. If he does, hello there. And if you don't know why I said that particularly, then you need to do more Star Wars research.
Oh, boy. Well, at the very end of the show, Ezra lands in the landing bay and he tells Hera, I'm home.
He lands in the landing bay after he gets pushed there by magical Sabine.
I mean, that was like a key moment in the show, and for fans, the fact that he comes back and the simple line that held such weight.
I still like that he was wearing the Stormtrooper outfit, like, all the way back.
All the way back.
Nobody might accidentally shoot him or anything when he literally with the helmet on and everything. You're like, what are you doing, buddy? Come on.
Well, Iman said, I'm in the enemy's outfit and I'm being received with guns and blasters pointing at me. Except this time when I take my helmet off and they actually see who I am and what I look like, they realize I'm not the enemy. I'm a friend. And in this world, I'm a hero who's not dead after all. It was a very, very impactful moment for me as a human being.
You didn't have to still be wearing it. I don't know.
I know.
Again, I know we just discussed it, but you could have avoided the potential getting shot thing.
That adds to the excitement, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, he kind of closed out his interview going back and thanking the cast and crew of Rebels, bringing these characters to life, animated, and then allowing him to, pick up the pieces and continue to shoulder on with this character in live action. And he hopes that fans take away the message from his character's arc that it's okay to lean on your friends and allow people who love you and who want to help you. And that's for everything in life, not just getting back from a different galaxy. Again, Ahsoka Season 2 has not yet been confirmed, but we really do hope we get to at least see Iman return somewhere in canon.
Oh, we're going to see him again as Ezra. Come on now. There's no, even if Ahsoka Season 2 doesn't happen, we're seeing Ezra again. And
another little small story I have for today is Lego Star Wars has dropped on YouTube 3 more shorts for the holidays. Yes, you get another, like, tiny little shorts like they did for Halloween. 3 more. 2 of them with no words.
I am kind of surprised they haven't yet to make a Star Wars Lego movie.
Full on. They have to ask Lucasfilm for permission.
Well, obviously. You wouldn't want to make the whole movie and Lucasfilm's like, what did you do?
One of the ones is very interesting because one of these 3 shorts is High Republic.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's curious.
It's using the kids from the Young Jedi Adventures.
Oh, okay.
2 of
so
them.
It's not really like using...
Well, it's still High Republic.
I still remember when what was it, the Christmas special, the sequel trilogy characters gave them more development in that 30-minute special than the whole sequel trilogy. Yeah, you were like, what the heck? I remember watching it afterwards. I'm like, wow, they actually got a story arc here. What crazy idea is this?
My favorite was, of course, the one with Vader and Palpatine. They kind of did "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and it was cute. Vader, they have such a great robot chicken-esque relationship.
I was just going to say, it's taken like straight out of Robot Chicken.
It's great.
Yes. Anyway, that's going to be all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news, and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.